Okay, so let's get started. So tonight we're going to talk about the W-4 forms, okay? Understand those forms and how to complete them to make sure that you paying enough throughout the year for tax purposes, okay? So who am I? I'm India Hannah. Those who don't know me, I am a tax accountant. I've been in the tax industry for over 16 years, and over the years, I help countless individuals and business manage their taxes, resolve IRS debt, and plan for more secure financial future. With a deep understanding for tax preparation and tax resolution, I'm passionate about making tax concepts a little simple, right? Because taxes can be kind of difficult, especially when you don't study the industry or be in the industry, right? So my goal is to make it as simple as possible for you guys to understand. And I love to do it. So I'm very, very passionate about it. So tonight, what I'm gonna do is guide you through the W-4 form and show you how to take control of your tax withholdings, okay? So if y'all ready, get y'all pens, get y'all papers, and we about to get started. And be free to ask me any questions that you may have. I will stop and answer your questions, okay? So while you're here, again, it's to help you understand how to properly complete the W-4 form. My objective is by the end of this session that you'll feel confident in completing your W-4 form and understanding the type of withholdings you should have based off your specific tax situation. Okay, so we first want to start by talking about the myths, right? Most people think the W-4 form is only for new employees, right? Like you just get a new job, I need to fill out this form and that's it. Actually, you should fill out the W-4 form anytime you have a financial situation that changes, like a marriage, a divorce, a new baby, buying a house, right? Because all that changes your finances. And so that's when you need to actually go in to change your W-4 form. I actually tell my clients they should actually do it every quarterly, okay? Every quarterly, take a look at your financial situation and see how to modify that form. Another myth I hear a lot is the W-4 form doesn't affect my refund. It does, right? It affects it a whole lot because if you have the incorrect settings, you could end up having to owe a large tax bill, or you could receive a much smaller refund, or you could receive a larger refund, right? Just depends on how you have the W-4 set up, okay? And what I notice is a lot of people don't have it set up correctly. And so we're going to go through those steps and make sure we get you guys set up correctly tonight. Okay, the W-4 form, let's get into it. What is this form? This form is officially known as the Employee Withholding Certificate. It's provided by the Internal Revenue Services, the IRS, and it's used by the employees to tell the employer how much federal income taxes should be withheld from their paycheck for tax purposes. The employer uses information to calculate the appropriate amount of taxes to deduct from the employee wages before paying them. The form takes into account the factors such as filing status, dependents, and other sources of income or deductions the employee may have. So what does that mean? That means you get this form and say, let's say I work with ABC Company, right? So ABC Company gives you this form, you fill this form out, and this form tells ABC Company how much to take out your paycheck. How many times have you heard a family, a friend, an associate say, HR not taking enough money out my check, or my job is not taking enough money out of check? How many times you heard that, right? A lot. I know I have, right? But it's not they're not their job to do it. So it's not HR job, it's not payroll's job, it's no one's job at your company to look at your W-4. The IRS is putting it in your hands, so you have to actually know how much you're going to make for your annual salary, like how much you're going to make for the year, and then do the adjustments on that. No one in HR is going to say, well, hey, India, your W-4 is not right. You're not taking enough taxes out. Or, hey, India, is you paying too much taxes, right? That's not their job. So the IRS is holding us accountable to fill out this form and fill out correctly to make sure they actually want us to break even at the end of tax season. Okay. Do we have any questions so far? We're good. Okay. Why is it important? Why is this form so important? The form is important, like I said, it impacts your withholdings, like how much money you holding, giving the IRS to hold or pay your tax debt, right? It helps you avoid surprises at the end of tax time, because we get a lot of clients come in and say, oh, I'm not getting a refund, or I got to pay that amount. So it avoids all that. It gives you a chance to look at your overall picture. Life changes. When things happen in your life, we know they could impact your finances. So your W-4 needs to be changed according to that as well. Multiple jobs and having a spouse that works, that deals, you need to look at your W-4 form and make sure that's filled out correctly. Because most times when you have two working people together, like a married couple working together, filing together, you notice they're more so going to owe because they don't have their W-4 forms filled out correctly. And then the biggest thing I want to give y'all is a tax tool. So if you really want to plan for certain things, this W-4 and these other tools I'm going to give you tonight is really going to help you do that. So you have an understanding of where you'll be at the end of tax season. Okay. Now I talked about a lot. Withholdings, right? What is withholdings? You know, every time you get paid, your employee takes out a certain amount of money, which they call your withholdings, from your paycheck. This money goes towards your federal income taxes and some other federal taxes, for example, the FICA. The United States has a pay-as-you-go tax season, which means we pay every time we get our paycheck, and we don't pay one lump sum at the end of the year, right? So we pay as you go. So we are not set up as a pay-as-you-go tax season. Every employer, so every job that you work would need to withhold money from your paycheck, right? So they need to hold some type of money and send it to the IRS to go towards your tax bill. It's also if you retire and you receive like a pension, you will need to have some money withheld from that as well. And if you have earnings such as bonuses, commission, or gambling. So let me say it again for the people in the back, okay? Bonuses, commission, and gambling, right? So if you go and get that scratch off and you win some money, you need to go run online and redo that W-4 form, okay? Because you need to increase it, because your income is now increased by the additional money you're receiving, okay? Now, self-employed workers, independent contractors, small business owners, we don't get paid by nobody, right? We mostly get cash or people paying us. We would have to pay estimate quarterly taxes, right? And that's a different training for a different day. But we do have to pay taxes as you go, like we're supposed to. Every quarter, we're supposed to send a payment to the IRS, okay? Now let's get to the form and let's break it down. So in the next couple of slides, we're going to go through the form. I'm going to tell you what's in each section, and then we're going to go with scenarios. And I'm going to give you a tool that you can use to help you do your W-4 form. So the first section is simple. It's your personal information. It's going to be your first name, your last name, your address, and then your filing status and social security number, okay? The biggest thing I see people maybe fumble a little bit in this section is they filing status. So you can file single or married filing separate. So that's the first option. So married filing separate is what it is. You married, and for whatever reason, your spouse is filing two different tax returns, okay? You single. A lot of people kind of mess up with single. So single, you can't be married, right? But you can have a dependent, and that's kind of confusing. So you can be single, have a dependent, but not pay 50% of the bills in the house. So that's going to make you single. Like it could be you and maybe a roommate, and the roommate is paying more than you and have the child as well, right? So they will be head of household and you will be single. So you either single if you have no dependents and not married, or you could be single with a dependent but not paying more than 50% of the household expenses. And then we have married filing jointly. Of course, that's what it is. You have two married people that's combining income and filing one tax form. And then you have a surviving spouse, which means your spouse died within the last year, and you're going to choose that filing status. And then you have head of household. Head of household, you must have a qualifying dependent. So you have to have a qualifying dependent, and then you must pay 50% of your upkeep in your house, okay? Section 2, so 2 through 4 is where it kind of get complicated, right? And we're going to go in this into a little bit details. So section 2 is the multiple jobs. So if you have multiple jobs or your spouse work, you will have to go in that section and just really just look at the questions and just answer the questions. It really not as difficult as people make it seem, but you just have to check the box that's going to work for your situation. Now, step 3, claiming dependents and other credits, that gets a little bit more complicated, and I'm going to show you guys the easy way to do that. But if you have dependents or anything like that, you will use them in that box, and the system will calculate. I'm going to show you how to calculate it and what numbers you put in what box, okay? And then next, in step 4, you would do like your deductions of the income and extra withholdings. The only time I tell somebody to do an extra withholding, if they come to me like right now and they haven't paid enough taxes so far, right? Then I give them a form and tell them this is exactly what you need to pay. Like this is what you normally supposed to pay right here. And so we need to have additional money coming out your check so you can either break even at the end of tax season. And of course, section 5 is the sign in date. And so what we're going to do now is actually go over the scenarios where we're going to put the form in so you can see how it's filled out and how it looks. Now, I have a little tool y'all like to use. And then everybody who signed up for the Zoom, y'all going to get a little goodie, a little royal sheet, I'm going to call it, right? It's going to be a step-by-step guide on how to fill out the W-4, but all the links I'm going to show you tonight, talk about tonight, it will be listed there so you will have access to it. So the link we're going to go to is the tax withholding estimate, okay? And this pretty much is going to show you how to do your taxes. So let me pull that up here. I have it here. Let me move it to this window. Can y'all see the tab with withholding? Do y'all see that now? Okay. The PowerPoint on this side. Hold on, I'm switching my windows around. Okay, so this is the easiest way. If you don't really want to look at, of course, you can look at the W-4 form and have all these pages and give you directions, give you charts and all that good stuff on how to fill it out. If you don't want to go through all that, because I wouldn't want to go through all that, you could use this tool right here. And this tool is just my go-to tool, right? It'll show you exactly what you need to put. So we're going to go over some scenarios. Disclosure, these are not real clients. These are scenarios I just came up with. So we can go through it and show you how to do it, okay? So the first scenario is Sarah is a full-time employee at a marketing firm. She earned $50,000 per year. She has no dependents and she files single. In addition to her regular job, she is a freelance worker on the side and earns $5,000 a year. She's unsure with how to complete her W-4 form, especially when it comes to her extra income. Okay, so we're going to take the information and we're going to do this form. So the important information that we got out is that Sarah is single. She made $50,000 from her W-2 job, right? And then she's like a freelancer. So she could probably get like a 1099 and she makes approximately $5,000 from there. So when you take a look at this tool, you will hit single here. And it's going to ask you, do you have a job or a pension where they take out withholdings for federal taxes? We want to hit yes. Now, this section here, you want to make sure you read it, and if it applies to you, you want to make sure you click that box because again, that change your financial status, your situation, change your financial situation, so your W-4 will look totally different. Based off the information we got from Sarah, none of these apply. So we're gonna not check anything and we'll just hit next, okay? So how many jobs you think Sarah would need to put down? So it's going to ask how many jobs this year was set where you have that federal income tax is regularly withheld. How many jobs I think she should put? I can't hear you. You're on mute. Hold on.
Two?
You say 2, Jackie. How many you say?
I said two. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2.
You say one. Okay. The answer is one. Because remember, her
Okay.
job is not going to send money to the IRS, right? So it's kind of like a 1099 contractor. The only job that she's going to have that's going to send money to the IRS through her withheld is her W-2 job, which is the marketing firm. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem. So being that we don't know what she makes per hour, we're gonna say it's a salary position here. If you have an hourly job or pension, you choose whatever there. We're gonna assume this is a normal person, so she's gonna work from January the 1st to December 31st all year. Let's say she get paid every 2 weeks. In her most recent paycheck stub, let's do the 20th. And let's do the 6th. Okay. So let's figure out. Okay. Okay, so y'all done figure out the math. So let me tell you how I did it. So she made $50,000, right? It's something to make $50,000 a year. So you'll be able to see this on your paycheck. So how much she'll get? How much she get paid pay period? So she get paid bi-weekly. So that's 26 paychecks a year, right? So you would divide 50,000 by 26. So her paycheck is $1,923.07. Okay. So you'll take that by, she already had 18 pay periods so far. So if you just take the 19,023.07 and times that by 18, you'll get the $34,812. Okay. So you'll actually see that on your paycheck. So you won't have to do the math, but since you don't have a paycheck, those are the numbers here. Okay. So based off this, is this correct? You're gonna say yes, that's correct. Now, I'm gonna say how much money y'all wanna say she paid in federal taxes. I see a lot of zeros. Y'all wanna throw a number out there? I can't hear you, Miss. You say 2,000. I'm trying to read your lip. I can't hear you. You still muted. We'll let you unmute now.
Yes.
Okay. How
I'm
much?
going to say 2,300.
All right. Okay. There's somebody who pays taxes. Okay, so we're gonna say she paid 2,300 year to date, right? And let's see how much she's gonna pay per pay period. So 2,300 divided 18. So she paid about $127.77. Okay. So with the information we have, we know she don't 401k, health insurance, bonus, all that good stuff. But she do have another source of income. So we want to make sure we put net source of income, and then we'll put the $5,000 here. Okay, most times people don't pay quarterly taxes, right? There's a different training for a different day. But in her case, since they didn't tell us she paid quarterly taxes, we're gonna just leave this blank. And we're gonna hit next. Okay, so she had any adjustments. So like if she pulled money out her 401k, if she had any student loan deductions, any of that right here will be listed. You will check those boxes. In her case, she don't have anything in this scenario, so we're gonna just hit next. Now the standard and itemized deductions. I'm gonna tell you just about always go with standardized deductions. And the reason why is you have to have enough deductions over the standard, right?
Correct.
You should
Yes.
have at least 15,000 to itemize. Most times people don't, the average person don't have that. So we're gonna always stick with the standard deduction. And in her case, it's 14,600. So we'll hit yes. Based on the scenario, she don't have any of this. So she don't have any mortgage interest, state and local taxes. She don't have any of that. So we're going to hit next. Okay. Again, if she had kids, foreign tax credit, like all that will go here. Like have a drop down box. And I think the other scenario have different things to fill out here. So we're just hitting next here. And it's going to ask, so how old she is. So let's say she will be 42. Let's do 42 next year. And we're going to hit next. And so what it's showing you, and this is going to be your result, right? It's going to say what you pay, what you expect to pay was $3,000. What she paid was $316, right? Her obligation, because remember, your obligation is based off your tax bracket or your salary, the amount, how much you pay all year, your annual amount, right? Your real amount of money that you get from all sorts of incomes. So her total income is $55,000. So based off that, the IRS is saying she needs to pay $5,193. Okay. Right now, based how she got everything set up, and this is with her paying taxes, right? She's still gonna owe at the end of tax season $1,877. So even though she's paying a little bit a month, she's still not paying enough. Okay. And one thing I like about this tool, you have little things like telling you why you need to submit a W-4 form. It's pretty much like what I was telling you, like your financial situation may change, but how to get a larger refund. Like it goes and break down based on your scenario, what you can do to get a larger refund. Okay. But let's say you was just trying to get an idea. This is January. You're doing your new W-4 form. What I like is once you go through it, all you have to do is download the form. And once you download it, open the form back up. Can y'all see the form?
Yes.
Okay. So once you download it, you see how I already put the information in? So all you really do is either you can fill this out and you can send it to your employee, or if they have a system that you go in and manually do it, all you pretty much is just copying and pasting what's on here. So that's why I love the withholding system. And it'll automatically make you pay what you're supposed to pay. So if you do it based off this, she gonna break even. So at the end of tax season, she gonna pay what she's supposed to pay. She gonna file her taxes, and her tax liability is gonna be zero. She don't get no refund, but her liability is gonna be at zero. Okay.
You don't owe anybody nothing.
Right. So how y'all feel about that scenario? What you think about it?
I think it was great. Just kind of an eye opener, letting you know that my 2,300 should have been closer to 3,300.
Right. Right. And then we have one. Do y'all want me to go over another one? I have one with a head of household. If y'all want to see how that look with dependents.
Sure.
Okay. Let me close this account. Refresh this. So imagine if she was paying $0.
Oh my gosh.
Right. She would have been something sick, right? Like,
Yes, that's a lot of money to come up with on the 14th of April.
Right.
And it's better to pay it on the 14th because you get hit with all kind of penalties after that.
Exactly. And people think when you file an extension, right, you still gonna pay those interest and late fees, right? You still gonna pay
Still
all
gonna pay it. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
you just delaying it. So go ahead and
That's
get it.
That's it.
Go ahead and get it done. So this client got a little bit more. So his name is Mark Williams. Mark is a single parent with 2 kids. He earns $70,000. He filed head of household. He claimed both of his kids as dependents.
Okay.
He's going to itemize his deductions, including his mortgage interest and donations, which is going to total up to $15,000. And he want to make sure he's withholding enough taxes. Okay, so we can go through this pretty fast. So we're going to do head of household. He has 1 job, so yes, he have a job. He is not 65. I hope he's not 65 with these young
I
kids.
hope not.
Oh, he's claiming kids. Hold on. Claiming dependents. So you gonna claim dependents on here. Okay, so we don't know how much you make an hour, so we want to say salary. We're gonna do all year. Let's do every 2 weeks again. So let's say the 20 and 6. You do some math. That's $7,000. So right from 2692. He done had 18 payments. So let's do
So when you get to this, you're actually dividing the amount of weeks by 70,000, correct?
correct. But when you do it on your paycheck, it's already on there. So you would just put what's
Yeah.
on your paycheck. But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna say this amount is correct. How much you want to say he paid so far?
Out of 48,000, let's do a 5,100.
5,100. Okay. So you done had 18 checks. So
Oh, I did it by 70,000. And he's 41,000. Let's
you
do
did what?
4,800.
Do 4,800. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
800. 4,800 divided. So it's 266. Oh, I don't like these numbers. Too many sixes. Okay.
I don't like those sixes either.
Right. So he don't have, I don't see 401k. I don't see health plan. Don't say anything about a bonus. So I'm gonna say none of these. You don't have any unemployment, self-employment. Okay, no additional income. So we don't have to worry about additional holdings. Okay. So we know he wanted to do your standard deductions calculated 190. If yes, we still want to do yes because he wants to do his own mortgage interest, which is they don't tell me. So let's do let's say his mortgage interest is let's say 10,000
Okay.
and charity, let's say 5,000. Okay. We'll hit next. So let's say he will be 45. Okay. He got a child age 7. We have another child age 12. So you enter the number of qualifying children for the device of care credit, right? Okay, so here use this question mark, it'll break it down and tell you what this actually do. Like if you have some child in daycare, it's pretty much the credit here. So you can put maybe let's do 1 because that one's 12. I don't think counts for. Let's say how much you would spend. We would say daycare is expensive, so we'll say 150 a week. 18. Let's say 150 every 2 weeks. I can keep my so that's 18. Keep the math simple. So that's 2,700. Okay. Earned income credit. He'll get earned income credit for both of his kids. No adoption credit because they are his kids.
Okay.
Market entries. Let's say this was 10,000, right? And nothing else pertains to him. So we're gonna hit next. Oh, now this is looking nice.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Williams. So Mr. Williams is expected to pay $6,920. His estimated refundable credits is $3,400. So his projected refund is $10,328.
Wow. Wow.
You see how
That's
you can go in
awesome.
there? Yeah, you can go in there and play with the stuff to see exactly if you want a refund, what numbers you need to put in there for your refund. If you want to break even, what you need to just pay exactly what they say pay, right? You'll break even. But that's it.
Yeah.
And say, okay, Mr. Williams, that $10,000. Remember me. Remember the people in the back.
And this is on irs.gov?
It is. And I'm gonna send it to you because since you register, I'm gonna have a royal packet is what I call it. 'Cause you know I'm extra, right? But I'm gonna have
Okay.
all the little quick links on there. I'm gonna have the table on there to show you like how much you make, how much taxes you're supposed to pay, the percent, and all that stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go back to my PowerPoint. So did y'all have any questions so far?
I like scenarios, doing the job that we've done, we learn a lot from scenarios.
Right. I was like, it's good. I'm talking about it, I'm saying it, but it's good for you to actually see the form.
Correct.
Because I get a lot of people all the time like, oh, I don't know how to fill out this form. How many dependents I put down? It's totally different now. And everybody should go in. If you haven't went in, and go in and change it like today.
Today, yes.
This training, like while we're on the training.
And, knowledge is power.
Right. So, like I said, at least if you don't do it every quarter, the best practices when it comes to the W-4 is to do it anytime you have a major life change, a marriage, a baby, a divorce, anything that's going to change your financial status. I would say go in and look at it. Make sure you're not overpaying or underpaying. If you want to overpay, that's fine to get a refund. Just be mindful, you really just giving the IRS is like a savings account with no interest, right? So they just holding your money and they giving it back to you doing
Yep.
taxes. If
That's
you
a good,
not,
that's
go
a
ahead.
really good way of putting that. It's like they're holding your money, and what they subtract for the taxes, if you pay it over, you get that back.
Right.
So that's a good way of explaining it so that, it makes it easier to understand.
Exactly. Because I think people think they getting something extra. No, you just getting the money you put
Just
in it,
getting back.
right? The
Exactly.
overpayment.
Yes.
That's all you get. And this estimated tool, I love this tool. Like I love it. I love this tool, right? So use it, it's friendly, like play with it and see how it works. Or you could always consult, a tax professional like me or anybody to help you for guidance. But definitely you want to go in and change that W-4. Okay. Do y'all have any questions for me?
No, I think it was really well presented.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Look,
Am I the only person talking?
well, Jackie in here. Well, I think Jackie is at work or something. She doing something else, but she ain't here.
I'm
Okay.
here, I'm working too, so I apologize. I'm listening though. Yes, it is very informative.
Very.
You. Well, if y'all have any questions that y'all want to ask, you can schedule one-on-one with me, of course, and we'll go over and look at it together. I want y'all to follow me for more resources and training, right? So in my
Yes.
group, I'm gonna do more trainings. I will on my public Facebook page. This was supposed to be in my group, but Facebook wouldn't let me experience the group. But I'm going to give a lot of tips. I'm going to be available for you guys throughout the whole year. Any type of financial questions that you may have. Of course, you can visit my website at www.royalfinancialllc.net. That's my phone number. And join my Facebook group if y'all not in there. Join this group, okay?
I am